Welcome back. So this is just a kind of a quick update. I wanted to talk a little bit more about just give you a quick update like where I've gotten things I've done since I last recorded a menu. My next video is going to be we have already done it. We hit a workshop complex that was guarded by some ancient skeletons and some turrets. It was kind of a more well fortified one than if you, that than what we experienced when we went back to the grid. Of course, I didn't show you guys that, but you can go explore out there. That's kind of a safe one to hit. It's not really guarded or anything. Sorry, spoilers. There's some nearby us here that's in the Deadlands that is you can see all these red spots. These are usually guarded by enemies or we went and looted those out. So I'm going to make a video with it's more combat specific and dealing with turrets specifically and how we can strategically attack it to keep people as not from not getting as hurt as we possibly can because those turrets can be pretty nasty sometimes. So anyways, just a real quick update. We did get some more research. We've been able to research all the way up to research level 12. 12 research level 4. And just a quick note on research, if you're just watching this before you actually play, you get this small research bench. You can make it a middle at the beginning, and then you're going to need more space to be able to research more advanced tech. So this is a research bench 4. You once you get tech level 2, you'll need to build this research bench, and then you just keep upgrading. And each time you get to the next tech level, and you can start doing your research from there. So we're at research level 4, which isn't too bad. We got some more artifacts around the area, and we got some more stuff going on. The other thing I'll talk about real quick is I've said before, I like to keep everybody busy as much as possible. This guy's carrying a dude. I'll talk about why he's doing that in a second. But Shrike, like I said, she gains XP faster from doing armor smith tempting or doing armor smithing. Her XP is at 1 point. She has a racial XP bonus for that. So I have her. Do we have research plate armor crafting? So now we're she can do beat iron. So you just all you need for that is I have iron nearby as a resource that we have access to, not too far off. It's a little bit outside of this city, but we can get to it pretty easy. So she's doing research on or she's not doing research, but she's doing armor smithing, creating armor plate from iron. Now that increases, and at least in the default vanilla game, there's some world overhauls where like making the materials for armor smithing do not increase your armor smith skill, but in vanilla Kenshi and what I'm using, that is the case. So I can just have her beat plates and make armor plate for to increase her skill. So her skill right now is telling me down here that she's able to make armor quality shoddy. Now she's almost to 60, which I think at 60 she'll be high technically. So she can make standard right now and then high. The reason it's a little bit lower is keep in mind when you're smithing or making equipment and crafting things, if they're injured, it will affect the quality of the items that they produce. So you always want to make sure at least at the very end when they're about to finish up crafting an item that their health is good and also that they have light. I don't know if I've talked about that before, but you'll see around my research bench I have a bunch of torch posts so that the characters have light. That also provides light over here at this plate armor crafting bench because that way when she's doing it she gains more XP doing it. So anyways, that's that. The other thing I'll just talk about just automating. There's a mod I'm using here that I use that is helping me gain strength. So again, here's my food store. I talked about this in Mongrel. So I have a food store up here in my building with food in it. So my characters just automatically go and get their food. I could have them automatically mining iron. They go over here. I can assign some people that job. They'll go over there and they'll bring iron back. And then Strike, as I mentioned, she takes the iron and she makes armor plate. That can also be an income stream because armor plate is worth some money. So you can either save it for later when you're ready to make some armor plate or plate armor, or you can just, use it and sell it as a potential income stream, which is going to be more valuable. It's more labor intensive to make it. It takes longer, but it's more valuable than say just copper. Um, and then the other thing with automation, I use this mod. this isn't the only one that's like this, but this is the one I use because it's like just super simple and basic. It's called the Patrol Table, and I got this off the Steam Workshop. The only thing a little cheesy about it is that I don't think you need any tech research to get it or any building supplies to make it. So it's a little cheesy in that sense. I think there's some other ones that I've used that are a little bit better. And this is really simple. So basically what it is, it's a job you can assign your character. It has two components, a patrol table and a torch post over here a patrol post that you can put out somewhere, and you just tell the character to, this is like job prioritization. I tell them to take orders to this post and then go get orders here. So the first thing that you're going to, the most high priority thing is take it here. And then the lower priority thing is to do this. So they first have to get an order and then do this, and then they'll go out here. So you think about the order of that, like order of operations is he's supposed to go here, but before he goes there, he has to come here and get this. So this is higher priority and this is a lower priority. So if he doesn't have patrol orders, he's going to go get patrol orders and then run out. Just like kind of a quick summary of how like order of operations work. You have to think that through, like I said, sometimes. But what I have these guys doing, I can use this. This is great when you have your own base because you can set some people that just sort of wander around in certain areas. You know, you might have your gate and you know that there's air or a specific area outside of your base, and you can kind of use this little thing to send like a guard patrol out so that they walk back and forth, and just from like a security perspective for your base, they can like engage animals um, or enemies or bandits or something that are wandering around your base. You can kind of take care of them, like let your guys just kind of do their thing and kill them off. That's one way I use it. The other way is that if these guys don't really have anything else to do while, say, Zumi's researching and Shrike is in here armor smithing, but we don't have a whole lot more we can do here while we're hanging out. So if we're not out exploring, I can just tell these guys to like follow one of the characters, or I could tell however many I want to go run this patrol table, and they'll just run back and forth, which is getting them automatically athletics XP. And then the other thing is I can encumber them and load them up so that they're encumbered. Like these guys are got a bit of encumbrance going back and forth, and that's in training their strength. So you can see these guys, their strength is pretty darn high. So like Rook is at 64, Kang's at 65, Beep's probably a little lower, but Beep's at 52. So they're pretty strong. They're getting stronger, and this is extremely helpful to me now when I go looting and go raiding and treasure hunting and stuff like that. One, because I can put a lot of stuff in my inventory and my characters will either not be encumbered at all by it or they'll be, very little encumbered. The other thing is I can also carry characters around and it doesn't encumber them, so they can still move fast. Like if we get into a bad battle where we get really hurt, now we can pick our friends up and run away from the trouble if we need to, and it just makes it faster to get back to a town to heal up or whatnot. I will point out too, I just found there's some dead outlaw swordsmen that were out here on the ground that got killed by the turrets here, by the ninja guards, and we picked them up and we're carrying around. So that's another way to train your strength, is carrying characters or other characters or your own friends. You could just say, I could tell. Let's see if we have anybody here that's not here. I know who's not carrying anybody. I can just tell Zog. I can just say, "Hey, come pick up Hobbs," and I could tell Zog Zog's way over there, so he's gonna come over here. But I can just tell him to pick Hobbs up, and then he'll just run around carrying Hobbs, and that does get his strength higher. So carrying people plus encumbrance, all those things together will help increase your. Oh, we're probably getting raided by outlaw swordsmen out there, which is awesome. But anyways, so that's just kind of quick tips on training strength, automating the armor smith. Like getting your armor smithing skills higher. We could also, build a weapons smith and we could have somebody doing that. It's a little bit more complicated when you're in a town like this because I can't manufacture my own iron plates, so I'm dependent upon whatever inventory this guy has in stock to be able to do that. And then later, I'm going to need steel bars and stuff like that. So it's not quite as easy as like say armor plate. If you live in an area that's really animal rich, I would probably have a leather tanning bench because they can get the animal hides from you can automate that too, foraging animals. And you can put that in your base and or your little outpost or building that you own. And you can have someone leveling up their armor smith skill by using a leather tanning bench. So it kind of depends on what resources you have available to you. Well, that's just a couple quick tips on some automation things you can do and a quick update on where we're at. Like I said, in the next video, I'll have a little quick kind of example of combat, like how I'll try to replay how I defeated this thing. It's not the only way to do it, obviously, but it worked out really well, just kind of using some strategy and people didn't get too beat up. And I'll try to replay that for you just to show you how you can approach attacking a fortified enemy. Uh, and it even works pretty well when you, later game when you go and attack, like if you go attack a holy nation city or something, because cities usually tend to all have turrets outside. So it's kind of strategy along those lines, and just getting engaged and trying to get uh, as little hurt or damage as possible as you get in there and engage the enemy. So, all right, I appreciate it, and thanks. Until next time.